Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another day, another edition here of the Rongyi Cup. Rongyi Cup Season 3 Group Stage, Group C. I'm, of course, your ZvP with him, joined by these amazing players and by the people in the chat. Welcome, one and all. It's been an intense weekend of StarCraft, and over the past couple of days, we've been covering nothing but this event. For those that are curious, this is a $21,000 dollar tournament, a massive prize pool. 21K is on the line, and we have our 16 players facing off in the group stage. We have 4 groups of 4, of course, and they're all facing off. Top 2 do make it out. Bottom 2 are knocked out of the tournament. GSL group stage, full best of 3s to make it into the top 8, to make it into the playoffs. Oh boy, we already wrapped up Group A yesterday. We wrapped up Group B this morning, and now we're catching up with Group C. Let's go. Group C is going to be taking place, and of course tomorrow we're going to be live with Group D. Four groups, A, B, C, and D, to cover the group stage to get into the playoffs over the next couple of days. Oh boy. Here you go. So again, it's a full week of StarCraft, full week of Rongyi Cup. And up first, we do have our initial players. Actually, first things first, let's catch up on the group itself. True. Let's go. As you can see before you, un momento. Bam, beautiful. There we go. As you can see before you here, on my left, we do have our Group C. We have our 4 players. We have 1 Zerg in SHIN, we have 2 Protoss in Creator and Classic, and we have 1 Terran in Percival. Oh boy. Classic, of course, coming as the heavy hitter. I would say Classic is the sure thing to make it through the group, but what about the others? You know, Creator and SHIN, I'd say, are relatively close in skill. Likewise, Percival has been spiking up when it comes to his quality and caliber of play. It was only last month in December where Percival did defeat Classic in the best of 5, so he's done it before. Can he do it again? I would say that Percival, he has the most upset potential in TvP. Percival, he has a very aggressive, very active style of Terran versus Protoss, and he has brought down many a top Protoss player with his TvP, so I'm going to be looking forward to that series, to that rematch. And meanwhile, SHIN versus Creator also going to be a spicy one. SHIN, he has been taking a bit of a different approach to a lot of these games, has been exploring his other options. Muta play, for example, has been very fond of mutas, so I do expect to see some muta play in that series. Creator likewise also does do his own thing and rarely follows the meta. Oh boy, an exciting set of players here. And again, 5 best of 3s. We have match 1, match 2, winners match, elimination match, and decider match. Oh boy. First things first, though, we are going to be jumping into SHIN versus Creator. Game 1 is going to be on the Old Republic. Let's go. Let us go. As we delve into our best of 3 again, hope everyone's been enjoying themselves. Hope everyone has had a great weekend as well. Again, it's been nothing but Rongyi Cup here on the CranKy Ducklings, and we are getting back into our regular schedule. We're getting there. Again, I'm still not fully available all the time, especially coming into next weekend. I already announced this, but Home Story Cup is coming up next weekend, and we have been the official B stream of Home Story Cup for the past couple of years, but we will not be able to cast this weekend. Unfortunately, I will not be available, but we'll get into that later on. As for now, we have our series. We have our best of 3 spawning in the bottom hand corner of the Old Republic. We have the South Korean Zerg player. We have the Blue Zerg going for the hatch block. Going for the proxy hatch. Representing himself, it is a SHIN. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the red Protoss player, the red Protoss himself. It is a Creator. As the droid moves in for the hatchery, and a Creator is not in position to block. His probe is being sent across the map. The hatchery has been thrown down. Creator is fully aware, of course. It's going to be on Creator to try to deal with this, to clear out the first zealot, to potentially even pull the boys. He opts not to. He opts not to pull the boys, throws down a second gateway, and we're getting ready for the counterattack. Okay. So a couple of things are happening here. First things first, typically a proxy hatch like this, a hatch block, is a macro build. It's going to be a hatchery into a gas pool, into a hatchery back at home. That is why Creator, you can see, is on patrol to make sure he blocks the expansion of SHIN. SHIN wants to expand, at least he's showing that to be the case, and Creator is there to delay. Likewise, going for the 2-gate follow-up means that we're going to have 2 zealots and 2 adepts. It does mean that we're going to be able to deal with this proxy hatchery quite easily, then counterattack. Now, the scary thing about the counterattack is, remember, this is a hatch gas pool build. The gases are going to be a little bit later. Link speed is going to be delayed as well, and without link speed, it's going to be a tough defense. It does allow Creator to have the potential to counterattack and to get some damage done across the map. There's SHIN expanding. As we mentioned, SHIN is macroing behind this. He is taking his base. This expansion, meanwhile, should be cancelled. Attempting to let it finish. There is a decent amount of HP, and there it is as a cancellation. Thankfully, doesn't lose those resources. Adepts are on the way, and again, that counterattack can hit quite hard. Now, we have seen players like Scarlet go for Spine Crawler defense just because your early game defense is so limited because you had to invest into that hatchery, of course. It means that Queens are delayed, Lings are delayed, Ling speed has begun, that will help, but again, we'll see how much damage he sustains. Can SHIN survive the counterattack? So far, the Zelda's being kept busy. So Gas Geyser is under fire. Adepts are moving out. Here we go, 2 Adepts taking 1-shot drones. And we have SHIN going hatchery into another hatchery here. Back at home, we have 1 Queen. 1 Queen is in position. All the Lings are ready here in the main. Adepts they rock up at the natural. Can be the production. Ling speed is still in production. Yeah, there's a task force to cancel on that drone. But with all these Lings out, I believe SHIN should be okay. He should be able to deny any kind of shade. As Adepts they threaten the shade, but Ling should force a cancel. Yeah, Ling's a force a cancellation. Creator force back. He's at least denying any kind of mining here after the natural. Queens are moving in position. And Creator will shade away. And again, Creator has done quite a bit of damage. He forced out all these Zerglings. He forced earlier Ling speed, denied mining time, of course, as well. SHIN has some catching up to do. And Creator's not done. The Oracles are coming. The Oracles are on the way. And from here, we're trying to stabilize, trying to build back up. Again, it was a bit of a quirky start to the game, and both players are kind of stumbling their way in towards the mid-game. As SHIN is investing into his spores, trying to redrone, trying to resaturate. So Creator should be working on his 3rd base soon. Speaking of, there it is. Probe does move in. And SHIN can't do much about it. Behind this, we do have a bit of an earlier Twilight Council and another gateway. This is a pretty aggressive response here. A 4th gateway going to be thrown down. No Forge in sight. There's a very high chance it's going to be Glaives. This could be Glaive Adepts. Technically, this could also be Charge as well. It's a rarer sight to see Blink here just because there's no Forge. But at the same time, the timings are off just because of the opener. Ooh, meanwhile, that's going to be a faster lair. Okay, so we just see winding it back here. SHIN is skipping his Evo Chamber. Skipping his Evo Chamber, rushing into the lair. If you remember, I did mention earlier that SHIN, he is one that does like to play mutas. Meanwhile, Glaive Adepts are on the way. As we mentioned, it was either going to be Glaives or Charge. Glaives is the option of choice here for Creator. And I'm a little bit concerned. SHIN, it looks like he's going to be delaying or skipping his Evo Chamber. No upgrades, no Roach Horn either. This could be a Spire, this could be fast Hydras, but whether it's Mutas or whether it's Hydras, SHIN is going to be vulnerable to the massive amount of Adepts that are coming. Warps in the Stalker. Attempts to deny the Overlord Scouts. Another gas is being taken, and another getting to 5 gases. Again, what is it going to be? Hydrogen or Spire? I feel like none of those is a good option here, but there it is. Hydras. So Ling Hydra for SHIN. That's going to be a little bit better, I suppose. But the real question becomes, how many Adepts? So far, 11. 11 Adepts. Lings, they do spot the move out at least. And they spot the move out. The Oracle does punish us around. Creator is coming. Ooh, Creator supply blocked. Yeah, brutal supply block here as he cannot warp in. Still has his 11 Adepts. Bailings are ready, thankfully. And Creator, he commits it all. Yeah, he commits the shade and you don't see the Bailings. And we got some massive connections. SHIN will completely shut this down. Again, the Bailings are waiting. Creator, he took the bait. And with that, Creator is going to be completely shut down here. No economic damage. He gets 2 drones. That is not worth it. We have more Adepts trickling in, and these Adepts, they have potential, but Creator, he shades back home. He shades back home, and failing to do damage, Creator falls behind. these adepts that do not scale well into a longer game. He's now trying to get into Blink. We have a very late Forge, late upgrades, Temple Archives on the way as well. I was concerned here for SHIN, but thankfully he did make some safety banelings, and he was able to lure in the adepts, get those juicy connections, and now SHIN takes a lead. Now, there's something that's happening here that I did take note of earlier. There's a 4th base, no drones. More importantly, no Evo chamber. Remember, we brought that up earlier. There's no Evo chamber. What does that mean? All in. It means that SHIN, he has no intention of investing into upgrades. There's no infestation bit, no other gases, no Evo chambers, no upgrades whatsoever, because he plans on the game ending sooner. So it's going to be an all in here from SHIN. SHIN cutting workers at 55. You can see him transferring, but again, he is undersaturated. You can see here under saturation at the 3rd base. This is just for sure. So the all in is coming. No baneling speed either. Intentionally so. No baneling speed. Station drives get baited out. SHIN's moving forward. And SHIN, can he connect with those banelings? Yeah, he can. He does roll in, going for the adepts. That doesn't quite go for the mineral line. That's a lot of banelings being spent, and so far, Creator, he is holding on. Oh no. Jesus. Okay, the Oracles do pull back. Clutch control there by Creator. Creator shuts out all the Link Bane. The Hydras are exposed. That would be a time for adepts, to be honest. To work them in, bad. But SHIN, the all-in's being forced back. It's being forced further and further back. Creator's getting momentum. Storm is almost done. The +1 is on the way as well. The longer this goes on, the better it is for the Protoss. Ooh, as those 4 Hydras are putting in a lot of work. Oh no, there's no support. Yeah, there's no more support. The Hydras are going to go down one after the other. No Hydras left. And SHIN, remember, he had no follow-up. He has no drones. He has no drones. He has no economy. He has no tech. He has no upgrades. He has nothing else. That's why SHIN is gearing up for Wave 2. It's gearing up for Wave 2. But things are looking bleak here for SHIN. How many had Templar? 4. There's 4 Templar, 4 Storms. Lings, they do slip in. The wall's not a wall. Yeah, the wall is open. Lings, they do peel off into the natural. More Lings into the main. There's a recall. Oh, looks like there was a bit of a pause. Hopefully everything's okay. Looks like there was a pause. At the same time, SHIN does deviate and he does rotate over towards the 4th base. There are cannons, there's shield batteries, there's Storm. High Templar gets surrounded. Oof, does save itself. Or at least tries to. High Templar buying time. More Lings, they slip into the main. Again, a very chaotic defense here from Creator. And amidst all this chaos, can SHIN pull this off? Does get 10 probes. There's still Lings in the main. There's only 3 there. Just turn in 5, Babby. Just there we go. As Creator regains control of his bases. Creator still ahead economically. Still has 4 bases, better saturation, a higher worker count. SHIN, he's not really ready for this. He's not set up for a longer game. He's getting supply blocked. A big supply block here for SHIN. And still 0 upgrades, right? Still 0 upgrades. It's time to gear up for Wave 3. And again, the soup does lie, right? The soup does lie. SHIN, sure, he's up 20 army supply, or 20 supply, but that just doesn't really tell the full story here. Because of the storms, because of the defensive setup, Creator's army is getting better and better over time. Let's go +1, working now on +2. As we mentioned before, SHIN, he has to end the game soon, or at least cripple his opponent. Lings, they're coming in from behind. Okay, we're setting up for this round. Setting up for this round here. Storm on the Hydras. Oof. Okay, Storms are going to be connecting, but that's a lot of Hydras. That's a massive concave. And the shield batteries aren't ready. Yeah, the batteries are not ready. Lings are coming from behind. Creator is getting surrounded. SHIN, can he pull this off? We need more Storms. Oh my god. Another Storm lands. The final Storm. Yeah, that was the final Storm. There are no High Templar left. Hydras that started stepping forward, and again, SHIN, he might barely have enough here. I say that the Archon morphs in, massive Archon shots. Oh my god. The Archon himself kills like 5 Hydras. And Creator holds. Creator, he holds on, barely does hold. Did cost him all the Archons, all the High Templar. Immortals will arrive, and SHIN, the all-in, is failing time and time again. He's been building up, but barely not enough. Oh. As SHIN is still going for it. True. Gets a Stalker. He's still trying, Pat. Still trying. I mean, he has to. He's got to do what he can. Catching more Stalkers, not bad. We're the High Templar, by the way. There's only one Templar. Oof. Yeah, storm mainly zones. Need more Templar, need more Storms. But again, it's just the one. Creator, he does have a bit of a bank to work with. Where there's Warpins. It's fine, guys. Archon's Rock Up, Immortals Rock Up, he's perfectly fine. And Creator, he takes game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played again. A very intense game number 1 here with the non-stop all-ins out of SHIN. As we mentioned, when it comes to the very beginning of the game, the plan was always to go for the all-in. SHIN, he never got an Eva Chamber, he never got any upgrades. He droned up to 55. He didn't even saturate his completely third base. He transferred over to the 4th instead and did commit. As I mentioned, though, unfortunately, the longer the game went on, the better it was for Creator. It was an easier and easier defense over time, and he did survive. More importantly, the first wave, right? The first wave did survive. GG. GG, well played. And now we're getting to game number 2. We'll see if SHIN can bring it back. We'll see if he can force the ace match. As we're alluding into Ruby Rock. Ruby Rock being one of the smaller maps of the map pool. Smaller map, shorter rush distance by grounds. Once again, aggression is on the mind. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Ruby Rock, we have the blue Zerg player, the blue Zerg himself, down in the series. We'll see if he can bounce back. It is SHIN. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the red Protoss player, the red Protoss himself from South Korea, leading the series 1-0. It is Creator. Rico just catching up with the chats. Shame, shame. I see Night Phoenix as well. Bienvenidos, bienvenidos. Quack. Night Phoenix. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well. I hope you enjoyed your chess tournament or chess competition. I know that Night Phoenix, I believe, was a part of that. Basilisk did host a series of chess show matches not too long ago. So I hope you had a great time, Night Phoenix. What a delight. I see what you did there. See in the chats, will you be streaming the live matches in a couple of hours? No. Will not. As I mentioned before, we're going to be covering Group D matches tomorrow. We'll be covering that tomorrow. As Creator is just going for his gate expand. Jam. Good luck after my bunnies, man. Good luck after them. As this time, SHIN does go first to end the opener. Remember last game, SHIN did begin with a proxy hatchery, which didn't really get the damage he was hoping for. As we mentioned, it was a bit of an awkward follow-up, and Creator tried to be fair, Creator, he did attempt to be hyper-aggressive in the aftermath with Glaive Adepts, which failed to get damage. So SHIN was in a decent position in the aftermath of that, but again, the all-in left much to be desired. Creator, he had time to react, to respond, was able to shut down the all-in. Oh. That's different. It's been a while. As the Creator, I did mention at the very beginning of the broadcast how Creator, he's the one that doesn't really follow the meta too much. He does things his own way. This is an example of that. Robo opener out of Creator. Now, this is quite rare. Now, back in the day, there used to be a build. Australia was quite fond of it. A lot of the NA Protoss players, and even a couple of the Koreans would sprinkle it in. Was Robo into Bay into a Colossus drop. So Colossus drop is going to be on the table here. Otherwise, we could see early Immortal production into Sentries, into a bit of a Soul Train 2-base all-in. So show us what you got. Speaking of Soul Train, Sentries. Yep, Sentry production has begun. So I'm leaning more towards Immortals more so than Colossi. Yep, there it is. Immortal production is on the way. Now, the Overlord from SHIN sees everything. He sees the Robo, he sees the Gateway. Seeing a Robo this fast and this quick, bam, Roach Warren. So SHIN, he sees everything he needs to, he knows, he responds, he reacts, and SHIN should not overdrone. We should be seeing a third base just for lava. We should be seeing a handful of workers running up to around 40 drones at most, maybe 45 at most if we want to cut it close. But around 40 workers is what you're looking at, taking 2 gases and focusing on that Roach production. Building up that Ling Ravager. So we'll see when SHIN stops droning. Likewise, the all-in is on the way. It is straight up just a 2-base all-in. We have 4 gates in production, 2 gates ready on, so 6 gates set up. 6 gates, 2 bases, Immortals, Sentries. Creator is about to send it. And SHIN is actually cutting workers earlier. I was talking about joining up to 40, but no, SHIN is going to be cutting at 33. This is cutting a little bit earlier. That is a bit of a concern that he won't be able to afford his Ling Roach. We'll see if he can. So again, SHIN cutting up much earlier, which means he'll have an abundance of Lings, abundance of Roaches. One Ravager's morphing in. SHIN going for the counterattack. Creator, he's all in. We got the Slowlings warping in as well. SHIN, he will kill 1 gateway. Oh no, gets a free Ravager. Yeah, the Ravager's gonna go down. Nice pick up here for Creator. Lings, they try to come in from behind. They get a decent round on some of the Zealots. The Queens, they come in as well. And with help of the Queens, with the help of the Roaches and Ravagers, SHIN is fine. Yeah, SHIN, he's fine. He's holding on. There's just not enough here. Lings get a pylon. While does land, the Zealots are trading well for themselves. They're being efficient here, but there's just too much Zerg. There's just too many reinforcements. The Immortal is going to be targeted down. The Prism gets zoned away. He cannot juggle. And Creator, he will lose everything. The all-in is falling on his face. GG gets called, and SHIN will tie up the series 1-1. We are going to the ace match. GG. Whew, GG well played. Again, SHIN cutting workers early at 33, so 33 workers made a mass amount of Lings and Roaches. A big part of that was he did kill a gateway, so it meant that there were less reinforcements to warp in, but not just that, the initial engagement was solid to be able to get a surround on the Zealots, for the Queens to zone away the Prism, and I guess actually more importantly than all that, the scouts, right? SHIN, he was able to scout that Robo as soon as it got thrown down, so he had so much time to react and to respond and to take it as seriously as he did, cutting workers as quickly as he did and focusing on that Ling Roach production. GG. GG well played. With that, SHIN, he shuts down the all-in, and now we're going to be loading into the ace match. Oh boy. Yeah, getting into game 3. It all-in's here. It all-in's on White Rabbit. And spawning in the right-hand corner of White Rabbits, we have the South Korean Zerg player. We have the Blue Zerg tying up the series, surviving that all-in. It is SHIN. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the Red Protoss being forced into the ace match. Can he bring it back? It is Creator. Here we go. So getting into that ace match. Once again, SHIN is not going for the proxy hatchery, not this time. So we have a much more standard opener out of SHIN. Likewise, Creator is calming things down as well. I do not expect to see a Robo 2-base all-in out of Creator 2 games in a row, but welcome to White Rabbit. This is a larger map of the map pool. There's a higher chance that Creator might play more macro-oriented, might even cut some corners and be greedier than normal. Are we feeling like Stargates into Fleet Beacon into Tempest Rush or something like that? Maybe. Regardless, on a larger map like this, again, a Stargate opener would make a lot of sense. But we've seen nothing but aggression so far out of Creator. Game 1, we saw a relatively standard opener after the attempted proxy hatchery, the attempted hatch rush. But we had a relatively standard opener into Glaive Adepts. Game 2, 2 base all in. Game 3, what's it going to be? As the probe is being as annoying as possible, taking some extra hits, so we got to be careful. Probe does take some damage. Overlord is going to be here at the initial pillar, so it's going to be a little bit more difficult here for the Overlord to get scouting. If you remember last game, SHIN, he was essentially here in between the bases and was able to get in and get a full scout of the tech. For now, it's going to be the Stargate opener though out of Creator, which is what we expected. Again, Stargate opener on a larger map, but the question becomes, is this just triple Oracle into a third, or are we opening up Void Ray or hiding some tech? Creator still does have options. So I was just cleaning my glasses, really trying to. As we do have our initial 2 adepts, again they can one-shot workers. 2 adepts, they can one-shot, and we do not quite commit to the shade. Back at home, the Oracle is going to be on the way. It's a little bit better. Oh. But we're getting to our oracles. The adepts are still being active. Third base is being thrown down. Everything so far is looking pretty normal. Everything so far is looking pretty standard. I'm really just looking at the timing of the Twilight Council. I want to see the timing. Creator just catching some tumors. Threading a shade. To threaten a shade. So far, the third base is almost done. Soon we should be seeing, yep, the Forge and Twilight Council. Standard build. Like, this is as standard as you can get. Triple Oracle, third base, Forge up +1, Blink, a follow-up here, a Twilight Council Forge follow-up with +1 on Blink. Everything's looking standard. What isn't so standard here is the Roach Warren. So typically in a standard game, you would be skipping the Roach Warren and going to the Evo Chamber with fast +1 melee. Seeing that we have no Evo Chamber and we have a faster Roach Warren and it is hidden in between the bases, there's a higher chance here that SHIN is going to commit into a very Roach heavy style. Now, extra gas is being taken, Lair is almost done. There is a chance here that this could even be Muta play. Like, Roaches into a Spire into Mutas is not unheard of, so we'll see if it goes into Mutas, we'll see if it goes into a Hydra Den. If this were to be Hydras, like, I'm a little bit surprised that there is no Evo Chamber, because we would see +1 range on the way. So I'm leaning more towards Mutas here, but we'll see. We'll piece it all together. As now we see the Evo Chamber, now we see the Hydra Den. Again, it feels like the Chamber is late, it feels like the upgrades are going to be quite delayed here, as +1 is already in production for Creator. And it is a little more standard to get into those earlier upgrades. So Upgrade's going to be delayed, but at least there are going to be some upgrades. If we had only seen a Hydroden and only the Hydroden, I would assume that this would be like a Solar 3-base Hydra all-in. Like Solar, there's a build that he's quite fond of in ZvP where he cuts workers at 3.5 base saturation, does not get an Evo chamber, and goes like Mass Roach Hydra. Assuming we even do anything with the Evo chamber. Yeah, my attention. There we go. +1 range is on the way. Meanwhile, we have Creator going double Robo, double Colossus production. Again, this is a bit of an older school style. We used to see this a lot on Altitude. This would have been back like, what, in 2023? But it is going to be a very heavy Robo mid-game. And we'll see if Creator can get out of here. As SHIN, he's not droning. SHIN, he has a 4th base, but 0 drones at the 4th. He's droned up to 3 base saturation, 66 drones, but again, no other expansion. I did actually just mention Solo is quite fond of a Hydra based all-in, that it looks very similar to this, except when Solo goes to this build, he doesn't get the upgrade. He does not get the Evo chamber and does not get +1. So this is a bit of a more unique variation. It is still an all-in. SHIN is still not droning and still not saturating. SHIN is not set up for a longer game. It's all or nothing for SHIN. And it looks like +1 might factor in like in the middle of the fight. As SHIN is committing. Of course, Creator is aware. The longer this game goes on, the better it's going to be for Creator. He has to slowly build up his Colossus. And the Colossi are coming. Disruptor as well. The first Disruptor is already here. Shows Nova goes up, and we do get a decent, a very nice connection actually. Catching Hydras, catching Roaches. As SHIN, he gets softened up. And remember, SHIN, he has to end the game soon. Oh, the Ling. So Ling Rumba here into the main, not bad. 7 workers going to be going down. Biles, they do not connect. And nice dodge here from Creator. He does kite back. Ooh, another Nova connects. Another Nova goes off. Biles do graze the army, but alas, SHIN, who will lose every single Hydra. Again, the Novas were a little bit too good. SHIN is going to be forced back. The Ling Rumba killed 7 probes. That was not good enough. Not good enough damage. Creator is holding, and Creator, he's getting further and further ahead here. SHIN, oh, now he starts droning. Very rough here for SHIN. He now starts making workers. He's now trying to saturate. Infestation bits on the way. Lurker Den is on the way. The tech is late. The economy is late. The upgrades are late. Everything here is delayed. SHIN is in a very rough position. The soup is lying. The soup is lying to you. Essentially, there is a big window in time here now where SHIN is vulnerable pre-lurker. Lurkers are on the horizon, but they're not ready yet. So pre-lurker, Creator can end the game. As Creator is already on 2, soon to be up to 4 Colossus. So there's going to be a quadruple Colossus move out before lurkers. Or I should say before Hive Tech lurkers. As 2 Soakers get caught out. Colossus are amassing. It's going to be a very difficult defense here with Lair Tech lurkers, but it's all that SHIN has. We've got to morph them in as quickly as possible. Lurker Den is almost done. And here they come. 9 lurkers on the way. This is going to be, this is like the bread and butter. This is the backbone here of the defense. We need those lunkers, Pat. That is assuming that Creator pushes. Creator, he's chilling. Creator, he's getting a 4th base. He's probing up. He's getting +3. Creator is actually not moving out. I feel like he could have. I do think that, again, Lair Tech lurkers can be abused. Their range is so low, and especially with so little support for the lurkers as well. There's not actually much to protect them. I do think there was an opportunity here, but Creator, he is choosing to max out. And we might even see Skytuts. Like, we might even see a Fleet Beacon, second Stargates, and carrier production. Oh, okay. No, he does move out. Okay. It's a bit of a late push, but hey, he does force a cancel. Denies the 5th. He's got his 4 Colossus. War Prism is on the way. The Oracle's left behind to defend against the Lings. Not bad. Yo, we got our layer tech lurkers. Let's go. Lurkers are revealed. And Creator pulls away. Creator, he pulls away, going for his own 5th expansion. Just building up a death pool of an army, amassing up more immortals, more archons. Things they attempt to run by. As Creator tries to break in. SHIN throwing away all these Zerglings though. Toss from the way, the roaches they at least do force a cancel. Creator, he rotates. Does find a free lurker. Lurker goes down. Vipers they get 1, they get 2, they get 2 abductions, but they just walk away. Yeah, the Colossus they just step away, Mappy. Ay ay ay. Yeah, Colossus they just walk out. Again, there's no support here. If there were roaches, lings, hydras, anything else, they could add their DPS. But down goes the expansion. The abductions do nothing. Oh no, drones they cannot get away. 29 drone kills. Likewise, roach counterattack. The oracles are in position. Creator he defends against the roaches. He kills 29 drones and an expansion. And then he recalls. Recalls back home. I feel like he could have kept posturing. Like poking in, denying creep. But regardless, Creator is in a better position. Fleet beacon is done. Mothership is on the way. I feel like at this point we could see a 2nd and 3rd Stargate. To rebuild and remax on Carrier Tempest. That's the one criticism that I have of Creator when it comes to his production is just a lack of tech. Or just lack of production, I should say. Aside of that, though, he's been doing well. Yeah, bullying back the ground army. Ooh, catching out a lurker. Lurker goes down. We have a counterattack here across the map toward the 3rd. At the same time, as SHIN also moving in. A bit of an awkward counterattack here. It's a little bit haphazard. But I mean, hey, he's doing damage. Likewise, when it comes to the main fight, Creator, he does come out on top. Kills the expansion. SHIN is gaining ground here at the natural, though. SHIN's moving in, he's gaining ground. Creator racing back home. SHIN has the high ground. He has the high ground. Zones away Creator. Creator turning back around. Hey, does find a mineral line. And it's getting a little bit dicey here. 25 drone kills, Jesus. Oh no, the boys, they pull into an Archon. Massive Archon shots going off. Another base goes down. And SHIN is all in. SHIN is all in. SHIN has no mining. This is the mining here. He's got the natural, he's got the main, that's all he has. Meanwhile, Creator, he has a fresh mining base on the right-hand side. Creator still has warpins. Tempest gets caught. Does catch the Tempest, and we're going for the base trade. Okay, never mind. I assumed the Creator was going to turn around and defend, but no, Creator, he commits to the base trade. He's going across the map, back at home. There are a handful of Hydras to defend. Honestly, there's not much to stop Creator. There's not much to stop him. We got 2 lurkers morphing in. They should not finish. Yeah, they won't. They will not complete. Creator chasing down the Hydras. Again, there's only 4 Hydras, down to 3. 3 Hydras left. We have a couple lurkers morphing in across the map on the left-hand side. Yeah, lurkers are morphing in. These only buildings? SHIN down to 8 drones. Okay, the drones did evacuate. I was curious. But SHIN, he has no money. Just realized he cannot afford a hatchery. Yeah, SHIN, he's broke. Lurker's gonna be bullied back. Oof, massive storm on the Hydras. And Creator could try to go for the elimination. As Creator's bases are going down. Creator, he breaks out. He collapses on this army. This army cannot fight head on. As SHIN will lose everything here across the map. Oof. Got some brutal blinks. This Nexus here is getting low. And Creator looks like he's not really interested in killing all the buildings. He's just going to chase SHIN down. But SHIN has a couple of Vipers. He's got his Lurkers. Gotta respect the Vipers. And Nexus goes down. We just see Creator rebuilding his Nexus here in his main and his natural. He'll be forcing SHIN to move into him. As Creator is down to 2 probes. And 2 probes left over. But he's hitting bases. The Lurkers are on their own. Oh! Doesn't get the storm off. Okay, do we land the feedback? Do we land the deduction? What's it gonna be? Creator, he attempts a flank. Oh! Nice deduction. Gets the Oracle. Creator does have an observer. We do get a feedback off. That's a dead immortal though. And SHIN, he's trying to gain control of the high ground. Wicked Wing for the surround. Yeah, Lurker goes down. Massive storms. Oh my god. Massive storms are going to be connecting, and the Lurkers are going down one after the other. Massive pickoffs. We're down to 3 Lurkers. That's the army. Yeah, 4. GG gets called. GG gets called. There's nothing left. And Creator, he will take the series 2-1. GG. Whew. GG, well played, congratulations. Creator, he does claim the series, does advance on into the winner's match. SHIN, he gets knocked down to the loser's match instead. Again, a very intense game, a very intense series. When it came to that base trade, that was the best kind of chance that SHIN had, to be honest. That was the best chance he had to go for the base trade, to gamble for a win. Unfortunately, he had no money to make other buildings. He was forced to push into the army of Creator instead, into those final Nexi, and he just didn't really have the army to fight head on. His armor was so vulnerable, was essentially a glass cannon, right? There was no beef to the army. It was very fragile composition. A couple of well-placed storms. The surround, of course. GG, well played. And with that, Creator does take the series, and now we're getting ready for the next matchup here in Group C. Up next is going to be a PvT between Classic and Percival. We do have the rematch ready for you. Again, Percival did defeat Classic in Sparkling Tuna Cup December finals in that best of 5, but now they face off a month later in a best of 3. A best of 3 instead.